Nurturing businesses with support and services to help them grow and bloom. The Time by Sagicor Bank is 7 o'clock.
Tune in to Lead Story, weekdays at 6 p.m. Hosted by Jody Ann Quarry.
Hi, I am Candy Pang.
Watagwan.
Watagwan.
Datagwan.
Watagwan.
Watagwan. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m., 1:30 p.m., and 10 p.m. on CVM TV.
Datagwan for Watagwan.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winford Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Let's delve deep into the issues. We'll take you beneath the surface.
Greetings and salutations. My name is Orville Higgins, and it's another edition of Fan Central.
Talking to the people at the heart of the top sporting stories. Hear from your favorite sportsmen and women and the administrators who work tirelessly to make it all happen. It's live sports talk.
I've written an entire article.
Yes.
Looking at all the major issues every Tuesday at 9 p.m. It's Fan Central.
Man been legendary, tell them nothing about the beast ordinary. Don't size up with CVM, you know ready. Them know, them not in my category. Listen, man, this is Bay C, and you're in tune to CVM. See it happen.
Tonight in CVM News at 7, Permanent Secretary slapped with contempt of court charge. Indecom probes alleged gun salute involving several cops in St. Catherine. And Jamaica's real estate market generates nearly 100 billion Jamaican dollars in property sales in 2025. For traditional flavors, Jamaican cheese gives new character to Italian garlic bread. In the business report, Golden Krust to rebuild 7 school canteens damaged by Hurricane Melissa. And later on in sports, second host nation bows into action at World Cup. Hello from Kingston, Jamaica. This is CVM News at 7 for Friday, June 12, 2026. I'm Caroline Brown. Thanks so much for joining us. Permanent Secretary in the Health and Wellness Ministry, Errol Green, has reportedly been charged with contempt of court in relation to ongoing legal proceedings involving the Integrity Commission. The details surrounding the charge have not yet been made public. However, reports indicate the matter stems from a case currently before the courts. Now, when contacted by CVM News, the Permanent Secretary declined to comment on the matter.
We heard that you've been charged with contempt of court, Mr. Green. How do you respond?
I wish not to comment at this time. I cannot comment at this time.
And why is that?
I can't comment at this time.
Thank you so much, sir. Green. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Now, our news team also reached out to the Integrity Commission for a comment. A representative acknowledged our inquiry and indicated that a response would be provided at a later date. Of course, we will continue to monitor the developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. To a developing story now, the Independent Commission of Investigations, Indecom, is now investigating reports that several members of the police force took part in a gun salute during the Nine Night for a constable in St. Catherine earlier this week. Indecom Commissioner Hugh Faulkner confirmed the development with CVM News moments ago. Video circulating from the event appears to show several men discharging multiple rounds into the air. CVM News understands police personnel were among those who fired their weapons. Sources further indicate one constable identified in the footage has since been placed on interdiction and his service firearm confiscated pending the outcome of the investigation. CVM News will be tracking this report and will have more in subsequent newscasts. To a CVM News follow-up now, the police are facing intensified scrutiny following Wednesday's fatal shooting of 4 men in retirement St. James, with relatives and residents insisting at least one of those killed was innocent. Now, this development comes as law enforcement say they're dealing with an increase in murders in the parish. Amoy Harriot reports.
Anger and disbelief filled the retirement community in St. James on Wednesday, moments after 4 men, including a father and son, were shot and killed in a police operation.
All of this is police brutality. Them are wicked. Wicked and wicked. And we need justice around here. So he was in a showcase. And the police said we want justice. Justice to work. Every time we have to do they kill people, they are shoot up and now laugh and reach out for a drink jelly.
Days later, the anger has not faded, and neither have the questions. Speaking at Thursday's meeting of the St. James Municipal Corporation, Councillor for the Granville Division, which includes the retirement community, Michael Troop, challenged Commanding Officer for the St. James Division, Senior Superintendent Aaron Samuels. Troop described the death of one of the men as a cold killing, insisting the man was innocent, despite reports suggesting he had links to criminal activity.
He was gainfully employed. His house was damaged by the hurricane. He was given a container to use temporarily as a place to rest his head. But on that fateful morning, the police went there and they were bawling. They don't have any gun in the container. They are living here. But this 56-year-old man, married with his family, was a gunman based on what the news is saying, that he was fatally shot because he was a gunman. I don't believe that one. I'm not questioning the police, but I personally don't believe that one.
You say what the news is saying, so what are you saying?
I am saying, sir,
right,
that gentleman was killed in cold blood.
Now, police say prior to the shooting, the retirement community had been on their radar.
We had some flare-up in that space. We had 2 murders coming out of a conflict within that space over scrap metal.
And retirement Senior Superintendent Samuels says isn't the only criminal hotspot in the parish.
The orange space is one, the Barrett Town space. We still have some surveillance activities occurring in the flanker community, and we are very potent in the town center as we're doing some restructuring in our operations within the space.
The commanding officer says law enforcement is grappling with an increase in murders in the parish. 34 murders have been recorded there since the start of the year, compared to 23 for the same period last year.
Our breakdown, we are continuing to see an increase in our interpersonal murders, which now stand at 11 gang, 9 criminal and 2 not yet determined.
He says the cops are intensifying efforts to curb interpersonal conflicts that sometimes result in murder.
We are trying to push as much community policing within the space, trying to see how best we can have the members of the public who come to us with disputes. We recommend them to the Disputes Resolution Foundation.
Amoy Harriet, CVM News.
St. Elizabeth Northeastern MP Zulika Jess and her driver have been fined after pleading guilty to traffic-related offences stemming from a traffic stop in Santa Cruz earlier this year. Now, sources indicate the matter arose after police stopped a vehicle being driven by Derek Facey along Main Street on March 31. Facey was charged with operating a motor vehicle without insurance coverage, without a valid certificate of fitness, and for communicating on an electronic device while driving. Our news team was told Jess was subsequently charged with aiding and abetting the use of a motor vehicle without insurance and aiding and abetting the use of a motor vehicle without a valid certificate of fitness. They both appeared before the Balaclava Traffic Court on Friday, where they pleaded guilty. Jess was fined $35,000, while Facey was fined $55,250. Our news team spoke to MP Jess on CVM's lead story a short while ago.
I can now speak about it because the matter has actually been resolved in court, so it's no longer sub judice. What had happened is that earlier this year, my driver would have been stopped by the police. At the time, it was noted that the cover note had expired, so he had the old documents.
And we have an update to CVM's exclusive on Thursday regarding Ray Morgan, a former convict who the Supreme Court awarded close to $80 million for compensatory damages. Well, Morgan today says he's now relieved as progress has been made in the judgment handed down since March. Well-placed sources told CVM News the government paid over the multi-million-dollar debt to Morgan's lawyer on May 15. However, in our interview, one of the lawyers, John Clark, denied having any knowledge of the payment. Natasha Williams picks up on that development.
Though he was unable to say whether or not he had received any of the money due to safety concerns, he says he's glad that things have taken a turn for the better.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great now. It is less stressful for me now because I'm seeing the result that I had wanted. I'm seeing the desired result as we speak.
Morgan says since his story was aired, his lawyers have been in clearer dialogue with him and he has instructed them on his plans going forward.
Yeah, my lawyers have been responding. Things are looking favorably now. I've seen the amount and they told me about the DPP one that has been held and all of that. Everything is going to my satisfaction.
He expressed gratitude for CVM's swift action on the matter, stressing that it has lessened his burdens.
Because of that force that was pushed at it, coming from you and your team, things are actually going quite smoothly. That's all I can say. Yeah, things are looking up pretty bright.
Though grateful, Morgan is calling for the glitches in the system to be fixed and stressed that citizens who run afoul of the law must be treated with the same dignity as citizens who don't. Efforts to get a comment from his lawyer, John Clark, were unsuccessful.
Because client matter which I have instructed them turning to write here, so please don't call my phone ever again.
No, I don't understand you because you asked for us to call you back.
Natasha Williams, CVM News.
And CVM News at 7 will continue right after this.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Before the first patty is made, there are hands that raise it, hands that grow it, hands that move it, hands that bake it, and hands that serve it. For Jamaica, by Jamaica. Through challenges and changing seasons, they stood strong. They built with us. They believed. To every farmer, every team member, every partner, thank you.
It's finally here. It's new. Yo, I'm hungry. Make we get Popeyes.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Popeyes have this new barbecue chicken sandwich there. Crispy barbecue chicken breast fillet, crunchy pickles, and Popeyes signature sauce. And the buns, buttery brioche. Oh my god, water.
It's new. Popeyes chicken sandwich with barbecue. Well, delicious barbecue right through. It's finally here. Popeyes barbecue chicken sandwich available everywhere. Popeyes has the new barbecue chicken sandwich.
Barbecue with a attitude.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
What is love? Love is when my uncle gave me the money to help start my shop. My auntie and I made her famous recipe even more delicious. And it starts with the best dressed chicken and a little extra love. No, my shop is famous to the people that matter the most to me, my community. So I only serve the best dressed chicken. Raised without antibiotics, it's only the best for my customers. If anyone's going to add something to my best dressed chicken,
It's going to be me.
only the best can be called the best dressed.
Welcome back. A Kingston family is relieved their loved one did not carry a traumatic experience a secret to his grave, but was conscious enough to attract their attention. Now, that allegation forms part of a damning complaint against the hospital he was admitted to for some 18 days. The situation is further compounded as they claimed they did not know where they had placed his remains at the time of this interview. Broken trust, an alleged wall of silence. That's what the relatives of a senior citizen who was a patient at a hospital are dealing with now, that he lived long enough to tell them what happened to him, something they say they wished the medical experts had told them directly. 73-year-old Joel Skeen was taken to the Kingston Public Hospital, KPH, with what they say turned out to be a medical situation involving the intestine that required prompt surgery. Edna Skeen, a younger sister, and Venicia Winter, a niece, monitored his well-being since he was admitted on May 22. A reported broken air conditioning unit in the theatre was a first delay.
I didn't know what to do then, more than to go home and pray and beg God, please make the AC run so my brother can get the operation to get relief from what he's going through.
However shocking it was to see him plastered on another visit, it was a moment of relief, a successful surgery.
The next day I go back to the hospital, I saw my brother with a plaster on his head. He wasn't at the bed that I leave him at before. When I went there, I was like, where's my brother? So a patient on the other side said to me that they're moving me, gone up at the other side. So I went and looked and I found him near to the nurse's quarter. So he had a wound in his head, plastered. I said, brother, what's wrong? He said he fell off the bed and bust his head. I said, oh my God. So I asked the nurses, one nurse was there, one in the ward. I said to her, my brother, how serious is my brother's wound? She used a word to me that I did not understand. So I said to her, is it stitch? She said, yes, that's what she meant.
But now complaints of foggy eye. Again, according to Miss Edna, he told her, as she alleges, requests to have dialogue with a doctor were far-fetched.
I didn't know that was the last time I'm going to saw him unresponsive. When I go there Saturday, he said to me, they take me to the eye doctor, I spent 3 hours there, and they examined my eye and dropped something in my eye.
The next time she saw him, she says he was on oxygen. And this time, she says when she asked, a doctor was called.
She said she is Dr. Trin. She said to me that my brother has a seizure. And she said she had to do a CT scan to find out what caused the seizure.
So was there any time it seemed Mr. Skeen might be heading home to Harborview?
Most definitely. When they called me from the hospital last week Thursday and said to me, your brother will be dismissed on the following Friday, if his blood work come back okay. The final call I get that turned everything upside down is when I got a call that I am to come to the hospital. Mr. Balong, no what turn up a CVM me ball. Mr. Balong the whole hospital. Uncontrollable until I calm down and go back home at the screen where he's at, wrap up in the white thing. That I don't know if it's a bag or a sheet, but he was wrapped and well tagged with his name and my name and the tag.
It was like piercing their wounded hearts. Open communication on June 8 about how Joel Skeen died in the very institution he trusted and their attempts to resuscitate him.
When you bring a family member to somewhere and expect there to get treatment and they don't get the treatment you're expecting. Because even when the doctor took us in the room, if it was a million questions we have, even now we will still be questioning that doctor. And when we really wanted answers, we didn't see any doctor.
The relatives are not convinced hospital ethics and policies were adhered to post-surgery, and they are prepared to take the matter further. Curlin Brown, CVM News. Well, in a response to questions raised by CVM News, acting CEO of Kingston Public Hospital, Dwayne Francis, wrote, quote, "We are deeply saddened by the passing of a 73-year-old patient and extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and loved ones. We take this matter with the utmost seriousness and have initiated a comprehensive internal review to fully understand the circumstances surrounding the incident. While we are unable to share specific details due to the patient confidentiality, we wish to reassure the public of our unwavering commitment to transparency, accountability, and the highest standards of care. We also extend an invitation to the family of the deceased to meet with us so that we may discuss the matter further and address any concerns they may have." End quote. Only 25% of Flow customers currently have 5G accessible mobile devices, and only 21% have the correct SIM cards. With the launch of the telecoms provider new 5G mobile network by Flow Jamaica, the company is seeking to reassure customers they do not have long to wait for faster, more reliable mobile connectivity. We hear more from Crystal Williams.
Flow customers who experience issues with their current data plans ending prematurely are being promised by the Vice President and General Manager of Flow Jamaica, Stephen Price, that they can look forward to this issue being rectified by September.
With the new network, I think it will be a lot faster for customers. I've seen speeds that we've clocked for at least 400 megs down, which is just incredible just for this. It's almost like having fiber in your hands.
Mr. Price says the company is prioritizing postpaid residential and business customers with the intention of bringing on their prepaid base over the summer. He says there's a reason for the operation, starting with densely populated areas and commute routes with high traffic.
It's not long that people have to wait for this. South, Santa Cruz, Black River, Mandeville, Maypen, Morant Bay, as well as Bull Bay, those will come along pretty quickly before the end of the month. So they don't have a long time to wait.
He also sought to explain the reason there might be delays in connectivity.
The critical thing, however, is that right now in the country, on our network, 25% of our customers have the correct devices in terms of 5G accessible handsets, right? So another 75% will have to, over time, start their process of upgrading to 5G handsets. In relation to the correct SIM. There are some customers out there who need their SIMs actually upgraded, especially those with the devices. So 21% of our customers have the right SIMs and the right devices at this present point in time.
The general manager says dialing *555 number sign on a Flow phone should alert the customer if they have the right SIM for the 5G network. Crystal Williams reporting for CVM News.
Universally, garlic is not only known to naturally add flavor. However, for mother-daughter business operators of Matai Foods Limited, the voice of God had a direct role in a savory product topped with local cheese and parsley added to their newest baked products, destined to hit the shelves soon. It's time for traditional flavors. Not everyone will master the culinary technique that turns a precise combination of ingredients plus heat into delicious edibles like real garlic bread.
A bakery on its own is hard work. Very hard work, long hours. Sometimes it's almost as if you have 8 days in the week. But it's fulfilling. And the nicest part of it is when you do a product and you give it to an individual and they enjoy it and say, nice, I want more of this.
Why you started to garlic bread?
You know, one night, Curly and I got up and I said, Lord, I need a secret. And I need a product that is different.
Uniquely yours.
Uniquely ours. And he just said garlic bread. With my experience in making bread and all of that. So I just came to the kitchen and started so how can I do this other than the regular garlic bread? And I don't know, the ideas just popped that try this. And I did it and it came out well. Thank God for all my brethren at church. They bought it and they loved it and they said, go ahead, this is a product.
So on a given day, what numbers?
On a given day, we can do between 60 to 100, 150, depends on the orders, because we're not yet in the supermarket. We're trying to figure that one out. And so we have persons who order, we have a gentleman who supplies for us to the hospitals, you know, to nurses, doctors, and so on.
So what is a garlic bread without garlic?
A garlic bread without garlic is just plain bread. And so this is a process after we add our garlic, which is blended garlic with olive oil and a little of our secret ingredients, our herbs and spices. We put the cheese on and it's nicely put. We do a lot of cheese on there because we remember the children always.
Okay. I realize that nice blend of...
Oh yes, this is here. Definitely, we could never leave out our Jamaican cheddar cheese, no way. What Jamaicans say, red cheese, yeah, that's there. Okay,
no,
so she's doing the process.
Right here, so because I am sure that most people don't use the local cheese.
No, have to. Because if you notice, we are a Jamaican bakery.
As it turns out, the traditional flavors twisted this bread from far away to become Jamaicanized.
Focaccia bread is Italian, but you know, we make it into whatever we want to in terms of making it Jamaican, keeping it real. And so the process, it takes less time, is really a cross between a flatbread and a focaccia bread. So that's how we make our garlic bread. It's innovative, it's not the usual baguette form, but it's more like a flatbread or focaccia bread, which you can make into anything that you want it. A pizza or an egg sandwich, you know, keeping it Jamaican, keeping it real. If you want to throw some oxtail on there, barbecue oxtail or whatever, or those persons who love pigtail, whatever you want to make it to be, you can have it.
And we'll be right back with lots more. Stay with us.
Taste it, eat it, drink it, applaud it. The 27th staging of the Jamaica Observer Tabletop Food Awards, the Caribbean's premier culinary event powered by MasterCard, takes place Thursday, June 25, East Lawrence, King's House. Our one-night-only evening of excellence in food creation, service, and event decor is sponsored by Sagicor, Tasty, Tourism Enhancement Fund, Heineken, HL Automotive, The Best Dressed Chicken, Water, Appleton Estate, Rainforest Urban Development Corporation, Main Event, Island Car Rentals, Fire 105 FM, and Edge 105 FM. Must be 18 years and older. Drink and live responsibly.
This makes no sense, people. Why waste time in the manual lane when you can just breeze through the T-tag lane? Plus, you pay a lower toll rate in the T-tag lane. You can easily get your T-tag from any toll collector. Just have to remember to top up by adding funds on the My T-tag app or by WhatsApp.
Save money and save time. If you don't have a tag, you will waste time. Yeah, your seatbelt buckle and you're driving safe. Use up your T-tag, drive on safe.
Drive like the winner you deserve to be with the T-tag every time.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC, it's finger licking good. The time by KFC is
7:30.
For the moments that are best enjoyed with your hands, enjoy them with a KFC Big Deal or Big Bucket. KFC.
As we welcome you back, it's time now for the Business Report with Joel Crossgill.
So much to digest in the Business Report today. Following a visit to Jamaica last year, in the immediate aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, a promise to return and continue recovery efforts in communities impacted by the storm was progressed as the next phase of the initiative saw a shift from agricultural support to education-focused investment, prioritizing the rebuilding of school canteens and the elevation of student nutrition. The Golden Krust team, led by Vice President of Marketing Stephen Clark's hunger to see those institutions return to normalcy was palpable when they sat down with the Business Report for a review of their efforts so far.
When we came here in December, we had a meeting at the Minister's office, Minister of Education, Senator Dana Morrison. We sat down with Latoya Harris, and she pulled up her laptop, and she had this massive directory of all impacted schools, levels of severity, needs list. And through that, we found that common thread that Orlean mentioned of the canteens. So it was in partnership with them. And the visibility was very impressive for them to be on the ready and have all collected this information at such a short time. That really helped us to get ahead of things.
You know, the good thing is that there's funding in place and there are small organizations like us that are trying to make a difference. And hence we wanted to keep our promise, and that's why we're back here.
As a people, when we come together, it is important that we get the work done. And I'm pleased that Golden Krust can partner with the government and other private sector to get the work going.
The Golden Krust leadership team were all products of Jamaican education system. Orlean, Westwood, Hilton, St. Mary High, to Peter and Paul and Campion. So this is not something that we are unfamiliar with. And education has always been big for us. We are trying to ensure that the future of Jamaica is well fed, but also well taken care of, have good areas to bond. A lot of memories are made over meals. And the more comfortable you are in your school environment with your lunch, then I think the better you'll be as you mature into the different grades. And we're purposeful in visiting from infant to high. We wanted to make sure that we got back to the hard-hit areas. You know, everything that we saw when I opened the door at Russie's in the home economics room, it looked like the storm hit yesterday.
Under the banner of Golden Krust Feeding the Future program, 7 schools across Hanover, St. Elizabeth, Trelawney, St. Mary, St. James, and Westmoreland are set to benefit from funding intended to strengthen nutrition access and facilitate the improvement of food preparation spaces for students. We heard from the Golden Krust team about what was witnessed during their visit to various campuses across the island.
What stood out to me most, I think, was when we stopped by our first school in Port Mary Primary. It was an infant school, I must say, rather. To see there was a principal there. She's there for 34 years. September coming, she will be her last year. But she was in a wheelchair. I think she wasn't mobile. She was in a wheelchair. But she was still doing such a fantastic job with the kids. I said it just shows you the resilience of the Jamaican people.
What I learned, especially when we went to Providence Heights in Ironshore, was that this is bigger than what we're doing. So even though they might need a stove or a fridge, these teachers and principals have plans for the institutions, and they have a large group of special needs children. And principal, her former name was Clark. She has plans to convert room 10 into a sensory room. And I believe that some of our funds, after they get the couple fans and maybe a new freezer, I would believe that some of the money that we gave to them would begin building out that sensory room in room 10.
When we went to Crawford, the principal told us they took like towels or sheets or whatever they could find, and they would go out into the community and they would have the students sit down to learn. What stood out for me is the passion that the principals and the teachers have for the children.
Or that school in Crawford, they're still doing sandwiches, tuna sandwiches, corned beef sandwiches. This is so long after the storm, but so we were happy to provide them with their funds so that they can get started.
The initiative is expected to provide approximately US $50,000 in support. However, the overall value of Golden Krust contributions has led to a significantly larger pot.
The contributions from Golden Krust to Hurricane Melissa relief probably hovers around $700,000 US between customer donations, corporate donations, the containers of goods that we sent to the Ministry of Health, what we've done for the schools, what we've done for the farmers. We're around that $700,000 US figure. If we get more, we'll do more. But that is where we are as of current. I'm looking forward to seeing all these schools come back to where they were and seeing the students have a place to eat. Really looking forward to seeing that.
And that was your business report. I'm Joel Crosskill.
Let's now see what's happening in the rest of the world.
We begin with news in the region. In Guyana, the number of criminal cases waiting to be heard in the High Court has dropped significantly, according to Director of Public Prosecutions, Shalimar Alihak. Here's Newsroom Guyana with more.
In 2020 and 2024, we had like about 300 cases listed for assizes. From 2025, those have come down to like 100 and something. And this is a remarkable improvement, and it is a part of the results of all the justice improvement that we have been involved in.
Meanwhile, in St. Lucia, the water and the sewage company, Wasco, has resolved a nightmarish sewage leakage that's plagued residents for weeks. DBS TV gives us an inside look.
The issue, which persisted for weeks, was linked to an electrical fault at the Jeremy Street pumping station, according to Wasco.
The day after I went on DBS, two officials from Wasco came to me and they spoke with me and they apologized.